This sandwich is in your hand right now. And what's inside is not what you think. 55 ingredients in a single chicken sandwich. Chemicals banned in Europe, sold as quality in America. Recalls you never heard about. And antibiotics quietly added back after a decade of promises. For years, Chick-fil-A has been treated like the gold standard of fast food. Clean, Christian values, high quality. But the Chick-fil-A you're eating at today is not the same chain that built its reputation. We dug into their recent FDA recalls. We broke down what's really in their food. And we connected it to America's obesity and chronic disease crisis, especially in children. What we found is disturbing. This isn't just about chicken sandwiches. It's about a silent public health problem hiding behind a friendly brand. And we aren't hating on Chick-fil-A. We're helping you make informed choices. These are the uncomfortable truths Americans need to know about Chick-fil-A. Let's dive in. The Chick-fil-A you think you know. Chick-fil-A is everywhere. Over 3,000 locations across the U.S. Drive-through lines wrapped around the block. Sunday closures that became part of American culture, polite staff, clean restaurants, a brand built on the promise of quality. But here's what most Americans don't know. The Chick-fil-A you think you're eating is a carefully constructed illusion. The premium chicken? It's packed with preservatives, flavor enhancers, and industrial additives. The simple ingredients? Try 55 different chemicals in a single sandwich. The no antibiotics ever promise? Quietly reversed in 2024. In this investigation, and we'll expose the FDA recalls Chick-fil-A hoped you'd forget about what's really inside the chicken, the buns, and the sauces. How this ties into America's exploding obesity and diabetes rates, and what you can actually eat there if you still choose to go. By the end of this video, you'll never look at that red bag the same way again. To understand how far Chick-fil-A has fallen, we need to start with what happened in 2024, because most people never heard about it. The 2024 recalls most Americans never heard about. Let's start with August 2024. The FDA issued a Class 2 risk alert for a Chick-fil-A biscuit mix. Now, you might be thinking, what's a Class 2 alert? According to the FDA's own definition, it means exposure to the product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, or in rare cases, serious harm. Here's what happened. Griffith Foods, a supplier that packages biscuit mix exclusively for Chick-fil-A, recalled the product because it contained undeclared egg. This was shipped to distribution centers in Louisiana and North Carolina. As of August 21st, the recall was still listed as ongoing. Now, for people with egg allergies, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's potentially life-threatening. The FDA classifies egg as one of the 9 major food allergens. According to Dr. Sebastian Ligvani from New York Allergy and Asthma, every 3 minutes in the United States, someone ends up in an emergency room because of an allergic reaction after accidentally eating something they're allergic to. But this wasn't Chick-fil-A's first recall of 2024. Earlier that year, February specifically, Chick-fil-A had to issue a massive recall of their fan-favorite Polynesian sauce across 27 states. The problem? Some of those Polynesian sauce cups actually contained sriracha sauce instead. Why does that matter? Because sriracha contains wheat and soy, 2 major allergens that aren't in Polynesian sauce. So, if you grabbed a sauce cup thinking it was safe, you could have been exposing yourself to allergens you were trying to avoid. Chick-fil-A's manufacturer, T. Marzetti Company, packaged the wrong sauce in the wrong cups. The recall covered any Polynesian sauce cups taken home between February 14th and 27th, 2024. The company posted warnings on their website and sent alerts through their mobile app telling customers to throw them away immediately. But here's the thing, these recalls are just the tip of the iceberg. Before we go further, take a second to subscribe and hit like. It helps push this investigation to the Americans who need to see it. Let's keep going. The 2018 E. coli outbreak. They want you to forget. Before we talk about what's in the food, we need to go back to 2018 because this one was serious. In 2018, Chick-Fil-A was caught up in 2 separate nationwide E. coli outbreaks linked to romaine lettuce. The FDA traced the contamination back to farms supplying lettuce to multiple chains, including Chick-fil-A. The first outbreak ran from March to June, and the second from October to December. Combined, these outbreaks infected 272 people and hospitalized 121. One of those cases was Eunice Cintron, as a California woman who ordered a spicy Southwest salad from a Chick-fil-A in Sacramento. She experienced severe gastrointestinal symptoms and was diagnosed with E. coli O. 157 with Shiga toxin and colitis. She described her pain as a 10 out of 10, like being stabbed and spent 7 days in the hospital. Chick-fil-A pulled all salads from their menu during the outbreak, but the damage was done. And here's what people don't realize. E. coli contamination can be fatal, especially for people with weaker immune systems, like young children, elderly people, or those with chronic illnesses. So we've got recalls, we've got E. coli outbreaks. But what about the everyday ingredients you're eating right now? The 55-ingredient chemistry experiment. This is where it gets really concerning. A Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, just the regular sandwich, contains 55 different ingredients. That's not a typo. 55. Now, a homemade chicken sandwich should have what, maybe 10 to 15 ingredients max? Bread, chicken, pickles, seasoning. But Chick-fil-A's version? It's basically a chemistry experiment. Let me walk you through some of the most alarming ones. MSG, monosodium glutamate. This flavor enhancer appears multiple times in the sandwich, in the chicken, and in the coating. The FDA has received thousands of reports of reactions to MSG, including headaches, sweating, rapid heartbeat, chest pain, and face pressure. Some studies have linked it to weight gain and neurodegenerative diseases. And here's the kicker. MSG is designed to be addictive. It hijacks your brain's reward system and makes you crave more. A sodium aluminum phosphate. This one's on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen additive watch list because it contains aluminum, a known neurotoxin. It's been linked to neurological problems. Why is it in your sandwich? It's a stabilizer in the breading. Dimethylpolysiloxane. This is the one that really blew my mind. It's an anti-foaming agent used in the frying oil to keep it from bubbling over. But here's what else dimethylpolysiloxane is used for. Silly putty. That's right, the same chemical you played with as a kid. It's also used in cosmetics, caulking, and even breast implants, which, by the way, are being phased out in some countries because they're not considered safe long-term. Potassium iodate. This ingredient is added to the flour in the bun. It's banned in the European Union, Canada, China, and several other countries because of concerns it can damage the thyroid. But in the US, totally legal. TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroquinone. This preservative is made from butane, yes, the same gas used in lighters. Chick-fil-A actually removed TBHQ from their menu a few years ago after pressure from consumer advocates, so credit where credit is due. But for years, it was in the chicken and the bun. Studies have linked TBHQ to ADHD, immune suppression, and even cancer in animal studies. Blue 1 dye. This artificial dye is still in Chick-fil-A's pickles. Food. Babe reports that Blue 1 is one of the worst artificial dyes because it can cross the blood-brain barrier. It's been linked to hyperactivity in children and an increased risk of kidney tumors. Soybean oil. This is one of the most inflammatory oils you can consume. It's in the breading, the bun, and the frying oil. Most soybean oil is made from GMO soybeans, heavily sprayed with glyphosate, the herbicide Roundup, which the World Health Organization has classified as a probable carcinogen. The oil is extracted using toxic chemicals like hexane. And I'm just scratching the surface here. There are dozens more additives: calcium propionate, datem, monocalcium phosphate, artificial flavors, and on and on. For context, a real chicken sandwich you make at home might have around 15 ingredients. Chick-fil-A's has 55. That's nearly 4 times as many. The antibiotic betrayal. Now here's where it gets even worse. In March 2024, Chick-Fil-A reversed a 10-year commitment to serve only antibiotic-free chicken. Back in 2014, they made a big promise: no antibiotics ever. They achieved that goal in 2019 and marketed it heavily as part of their commitment to quality. But in March 2024, they quietly announced they were switching to a looser standard called No Antibiotics Important to Human Medicine. What does that mean? It means they can now use antibiotics on chickens, as long as those antibiotics aren't the same ones commonly used to treat human illnesses. Chick-fil-A said the change was necessary to maintain supply of the high-quality chicken you expect from us. But experts aren't buying it. Food policy professor Darren Detweiler from Northeastern University said, "They're not talking about science and medicine and health. They're talking about supply and demand. The availability at the price point they're willing to pay is not there to maintain their profit margins." Here's why this matters. The World Health Organization has warned that antibiotic use in animals contributes to antibiotic resistance in humans. When bacteria develop resistance to antibiotics, infections become harder or impossible to treat. The WHO stated there is clear evidence of adverse human health consequences due to resistant organisms resulting from non-human usage of antimicrobials. And it's not just Chick-fil-A. Tyson Foods made the same switch in 2023. So what should you do? Look, I'm not here to tell you to never eat at Chick-fil-A again, but I do think you deserve to know what you're actually eating. And the companies aren't going to make it easy for you. Here's what the research shows. MSG can cause headaches, flushing, and rapid heartbeat in sensitive individuals. Sodium aluminum phosphate is a neurotoxin linked to cognitive issues. Dimethylpolysiloxane is approved by the FDA, but is also used in industrial products. Potassium iodate is banned in Europe for thyroid concerns. Blue 1 crosses the blood-brain barrier and may affect children's behavior. Soybean oil drives inflammation and is linked to obesity and cardiovascular disease. Antibiotics in chicken contribute to antibiotic-resistant bacteria, a growing public health crisis. Every Chick-fil-A visit is a choice. Convenience versus quality. Processed versus fresh. Habit versus intention. You don't have to boycott Chick-fil-A. But you should understand what you're consuming. Show your kids what real food looks like, and ask harder questions. Because if this is what we found in one chicken chain, what do you think is happening at McDonald's, or in school lunch programs, or in the baby food marketed directly to children? The baby food scandal is bigger, hidden deeper, and possibly even more dangerous. What we found will shock you. Subscribe for more American food exposés. Turn on notifications so you don't miss when we drop the baby food investigation. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay safe, stay healthy. And think twice the next time you pull into that Chick-fil-A drive-thru. This content is for informational and educational purposes only, based on publicly available information from the FDA, ingredient labels, and regulatory guidance. It does not constitute medical, legal, or dietary advice.